Steve and Jill here.
Good day.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining real estate investment. It's the House Academy Show, real estate, entertaining investment, real estate talk.
What the heck is
I'm
that?
Stephen Jack Butella.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, we got that part down. And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about finding the perfect zip code step by step. What the hell is the perfect zip code?
I thought you were going to make fun of yourself. Like, what the hell is wrong with my speech and my script today?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with the script.
It's true.
It's 100% user error.
Okay, thank you.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the houseacademy.com online community. It's free.
Jane writes, how many zip codes should I review before making a choice on which ones to send offers?
Jane, I have to be honest, you are the inspiration for this whole entire episode. And not only this, but you were the inspiration. This question that you posted was the inspiration from my blog that I write. And so the blog is done. The files are done.
Do you feel special, Jane?
It's a good, simple question.
Because you should.
Sometimes the questions that we get, and I'm not knocking any question, I'm really not, are, a couple pages long. This is one sentence of incredibly solid, help me out here.
Ready?
Today's topic?
Oh, we're not going to answer. We're just going to go right into this?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
How many should you be reviewing? It depends on the market. And that's what this whole show is about. If you're in a tiny little market or in a sub market, I'll get into it. It depends on the actual market, and I will answer the question throughout the episode.
I hope so.
Today's topic, you can do your hair or your lips or something. Today's topic, finding the perfect zip code step by step. This is why you're listening. Last weekend, I found myself alone in my own house. The kids were doing sports and all kinds of stuff, and Jill was doing shopping therapy, is what I call
something. I don't know. Retail therapy.
Retail therapy. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so I'm sitting there watching a movie that I would never watch with any the kids around, like, just murder and, Kill Bill kind of stuff. With my laptop in front of me, scouring Realtor.com for any anomalies, because that's what I just naturally do. This whole week is about obsessions. This is how my obsession manifests itself. So I'm scouring LA County for houses, in this case, SFRs, and I'm looking for some stuff that's weird. I'm looking for clusters of houses that are listed for $700,000 or $800,000, and then one's listed for $500,000. And so that's how all this crazy stuff starts. So I found this up and coming market in Compton, believe it or not, where houses are selling very quickly. They're very strangely priced, although the assets look the same, the square footage is the same. I'm looking for problems for hours. So I get to the point where I can't answer my own question. Why is this one 2 blocks away, listed for $500,000 or $600,000, and these over here are listed for $700,000 or $800,000, and every one in the zip code or in the market, their days on market, it's all pending. There's nothing for sale. It's selling so fast. This gets me excited. So what do I do? And
this gets you excited.
What this?
This is what all it takes.
This is all it takes.
I'm doing it all wrong. This is what gets you excited. Hey, baby, you want to come to the bedroom and talk data with me? Talk with zip codes with me?
Oh my gosh. What woman would respond to that?
Let's discuss Compton in bed, please.
Wow, can you imagine?
Yeah, that's great.
Even if you responded positively to that, I would worry.
Yeah, that's great.
So
I'm gonna wear a straight out of Compton shirt with nothing on underneath.
Oh my
gosh. That will do it.
This is Jill's way of breaking up the silly this technical episode.
Like, because I was going, just kidding. Okay.
So I go to Redfin Data, and I do a PhD level of what we call in the House Academy program the red, green, and yellow test. And I look up every single zip code in Los Angeles County. And there's tons. There's 10 pages, single spaced, of Los Angeles zip codes. And about 80% of them are usable. Some of them are Air Force bases. Some of them are like hospitals. Some of them are, the post office assigns zip codes for a lot of reasons. A lot of them aren't what we use this for. So I line them all up. I copy and paste them just like we talk about in the program. That all the data, days on market, properties that are for sale, month over month, year over year, the percentages of all the stats that we look at. New list is sold. If you're familiar with this stuff, I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but I line them all up and I sort for, now they're all in Excel. I sort for days on market and average price, and I look for the trend through using month over month and year over year for all these stats. And I sort for, because I love it, and it's usually an indicator of what's happening in that market, days on market. And it turns out I'm right. There's something weird going on in Compton. And so the spreadsheet tells me what to do. There's about 5,000 property SFRs, single family residences in this one zip code in Compton. Their days on market is less than 15 and has been since 2012. And yet there's these strangely priced properties. I found it. I found the perfect zip code in Los Angeles. Now, the zip codes that are above it and the zip codes that are below it, according to my sort criteria, they may not be perfect, but they're incredibly positive second choices. So I found my green in the red, green, and yellow, and put a mailer together right then. And this is how you do it. To answer Jane's question, we've done this in submarkets. Los Angeles County is huge. Looking at it by zip codes makes sense to me. If you look at a market like Phoenix, looking at it by cities makes a little bit more sense because people, for whatever reason, want to live in Mesa or they want to live in Chandler. And the Chandler people don't necessarily want to live in Mesa and vice versa. I'm not sure why. I don't find that as much in Los Angeles. They just want to be in Los Angeles and they're not really concerned about what city it is.
Oh, it exists.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If you're in Oregon, let's say Salem, Oregon, I'm just picking something out of the sky. There's going to be 4 or 5, maybe 8 zip codes max that you're going to have to analyze. It's a lot easier and faster, and one's going to just pop right out at you. So if you are choosing where to buy houses using any other method than this, first of all, please let me know personally so I can look at it and say, okay, maybe I missed something, but chances are you're really going to miss the mark. And here's why. If you follow this methodology and set out a bunch of mail, and let's say you buy a couple properties for maybe more than you should have, or you make some mistakes, market's going to correct you in your favor. If you buy a property in Compton that's not ready to explode from a physical standpoint or messed up entirely, it needs to be torn down, you're going to sell it. You're going to sell it fast, and you're going to sell it for a lot of profit. And versus just kind of looking around and saying, oh, that looks like a good market, or that looks like a good market. You have to look at the data, and you can find a perfect zip code. Mm-hmm. You just have to go through the step-by-step process that's in Land Academy.
Is there a minimum, like in Jane's question, like say she's doing something like you're doing, and it's like, around the areas you're looking at, is there a minimum like, all right, I have 10. I really see 2 that are stellar. Is that enough for her to feel good and move forward?
Yeah, that's absolutely, that's totally fine. Here's what's not enough.
I don't need 50.
Here's where I think you're going to run into some trouble, but you could make it work.
Okay.
And this is it, directly answering Jill's question. If you're in a really rural market like Kingman, Arizona, and you pull up the 3 zip codes that are in Kingman, I'm not picking on Kingman, it's just I happen to know it. I personally would never send a mail in Kingman, and here's why. Because I pull up the 3 or 4 zip codes that are there. Maybe there's even 2 that only matter. The other ones are industrial or something like that. And the days on market is 180 in both, or 180 and 210, which is probably pretty accurate. It's a tiny little town on the way to Las Vegas from Phoenix. I'm not going to buy property there unless I'm like really retired and I'm going to write an $80,000 check and list it for a year and sell it for 110 or something like that. This is not what we do. You want an urban subdivision-y type environment. These tiny little small towns can work, and you probably need to live there, babysit the deal, and expect it to take a year to sell. I think that was your question.
I think so.
I'm sorry. I just think this is the greatest stuff ever.
I know.
Jill's like, whatever.
Happy you could join us today. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we are over at the Land Academy show. Tuesdays and Thursdays, right here on the House Academy show.
Tomorrow, the episode on the Land Academy show is called, Does the Topic of X Repel You or Attract You? fill in the blank for X. Does the topic of personal finance organization repel you or attract you? Does the topic of women's feet repel you or attract you?
What the heck?
This is important.
Okay.
This is a Friday show.
All right, I'm going to think of some stuff.
It's very philosophical. And I really believe that if you say, I really believe there's not a lot of gray area. I don't really care about women's feet. No, I think that you either care or you don't.
Okay.
Or personal finance. I think you either really care or you don't.
Okay.
If you're going to do something and do it right, it better attract you.
Okay. You are not alone.
In your real estate ambition. Does the idea of having a podcast repel you or attract you, Jill?
I'm gonna write down a whole list. I love it. I think we should make a list. That'll be good. I'm in it. That's great. The House Academy show remains commercial free for you, our loyal listener. So wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, please subscribe and rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.